I want you to read that.
I
Understand?
just saw on your truck that it says abortion causes breast cancer. Do you have medical documentation to back that up?
Not like I don't have a paper in my hand, but I've researched it. It does.
So you have medical documentation to prove this, because I work in the medical field and I can prove.
Well, do you have documentation on you? You're welcome to present to me what you have.
Where is your van?
It's over there.
Over there.
Okay, thank you. Because my grandmother died of breast cancer, and I'm pretty sure.
I'm not saying it always is.
It
Well,
says
yeah.
on there that my daughter saw it. She said their van actually says that abortion causes breast cancer. I was like, really?
Hey, you know what though? Abortion causes death
Always. Well,
every time.
Yeah.
That is true. But if you're going to preach, you need to preach the truth.
I am. We're starting to.
Documentation in hand proving what you preach.
I need documentation for you to look at that. The photo evidence that it's a murder. You can't trust your own eyes.
No, I'm talking about what you have on your van, man. About the fact that if you sit there telling people it causes breast cancer by just posting on your van, you need to be able, when somebody pulls up and says, do you have documentation? You need to be able to pull out documentation.
Duly noted. Duly noted. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I mean, it would only help your cause, correct?
You're absolutely right, ma'am.
I mean, I don't think I need documentation for every single thing I say. Otherwise, I'd have 10,000 papers on me. But I know.
You're going to stand up in front of a high school and protest abortion?
Hey, we're not protesting. That's not what we're doing. I don't mean to be rude and interrupt you like that, but I need to correct you on that. We're not protesting. Look, we're here to educate. Okay? The reason my sign says church repent, because I'm usually at churches on Sunday educating.
Okay.
But that's another whole other issue. I'm here now because the future of our country is in this guy's hands, in that girl's hands right there, and those kids in the back. It's in their hands.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, the only reason I even stopped is because my daughter came home yesterday and said that one of your people out here actually reached out and grabbed her by the arm while she tried to walk away. No. And that
wasn't any of us.
That gets me involved because somebody reached out and touched my daughter.
We don't. I mean, I'm not saying your daughter's lying, but I mean, it may have been someone else, but we don't get physical with people.
Yeah, we don't.
Somebody in your group, because she said she was walking down that way towards Sonic.
Well,
Somebody was in that parking lot.
I'll tell you what.
And grabbed her hand.
We have a bunch of footage. We'll look at it.
Okay.
We will look at it.
I mean, I didn't see it, but
Look, we really appreciate you stopping and reasoning with us. I thank you for that.
Because I don't mind the education, because like I said, I do work in the medical field, and education is the key for everything.
Right.
Okay.
And everybody has the rights to educate in the way they choose. But, like I said, it becomes a protest when you guys become physical.
Exactly. I understand.
yeah, we don't
what you're
get physical.
I get that. I understand your beef with somebody getting physical with your child. I would probably get a little irate at myself. I get that. So, what I want you to understand is we're not here to cause any trouble for nobody, right? We know, and you know too, that they're not telling the whole truth.
No, they don't.
And that's why we're here. Because nobody's going to tell them. The parents aren't telling them. I hope you are. But most parents aren't telling their kids the truth. Most churches aren't telling their congregants the truth. Schools aren't telling their students the truth. And people aren't telling each other the truth. And when we have a one-sided world like we do in America, where it's totally legal to murder children like Stephen right here because he had Down syndrome or had some developmental disability, that's why he was murdered. That's why, you know.
I mean, a lot of that falls back on, wasn't it, I believe, Clinton, that legalized abortion all the way up to the day of birth?
I'm not sure about that.
Well, I mean, they did that in New York recently.
New York
and another states that did that.
I'm saying that, I mean, that goes back to our presidential, because our
You're right.
president had to approve it. And unfortunately, we don't always agree with what our president does, and I don't agree with that. I think abortion is wrong all the way around, and I do educate my daughter. Now, here's my only problem with that. I do agree that abortion is murder, and I do agree that abortion is wrong. But my concept of this is my daughter's 15 years old. If she's walking home from school and some grown-ass man rapes my daughter and she gets pregnant, I am not about to force my daughter to have that child.
Ma'am, I have to say this to you.
Because that's not fair to her, and that's not fair to that child.
I understand the outrage. I really do. But what is the difference between a rape baby and a regular baby?
A rape baby is a child that she does not want.
But,
that's a child that, if you ever, just the sheer fact of a 15-year-old going through pregnancy, unwanted, she's you have her do with it? Go through the trauma of labor and have a baby just for what?
I'm not going to
Something that
murder.
she
I
doesn't
would
love
never
anymore?
murder anyone over it. You can't fix a rape with a murder.
Okay, so what would you have her do?
Have the baby.
So you would tell your 15-year-old daughter that
I
got
would.
raped by a grown man to have a baby? In
I
your
would.
life. Do what?
I'd raise
a
it as
child?
my own.
Raise a child. So you
I would raise it as my own.
So you would force your daughter to look at her sibling every day and relive the rape? Do you understand the emotional trauma that creates?
Well, that doesn't happen always, ma'am. I mean, there have been
not like that
there,
all the time.
there have been girls who have raised their child conceived in rape, and they love their baby, and they say I can't.
I'm not saying that that's happened every time, but I can tell you that the children that choose to have abortions for that reason, I understand the concept behind it. I'm not saying it's the perfect ideal situation, but my daughter's bipolar manic depressive. If she was raped and I forced her to have a baby and then I turned around and raised it, do you know the psychological damage that would do to my child?
How do you know?
It does more damage to violate the law of God.
If you make your child a murderer, what's that going to do to you?
I can tell you now, I have 6 children. All of them are mine. My youngest will be 12 in about 3 days. And I can tell you right now that any of my children came home to me and told me that they were raped and were pregnant. I have 3 girls out of the situation. I've got one that's a daughter. But if any of them came home and told me that they were raped and that they found out that they were pregnant afterwards, then it would be up to them. I'm not going to force them to go and have an abortion. But if they tell me, Mom, I don't want this baby, I can't handle this, I can't emotionally handle this, then I'm going to.
What if they weren't raped?
If they laid down and had sex and you
How would
spread it,
you-
you raise it.
How would you know?
Because it's why.
How would you know your daughter was telling you the truth?
Because there's medical ways to find out if there's forced trauma. Forced rape is a forced trauma. You can tell by the vaginal tearing.
How do you know? How do you know it was that kind of rape?
What do you mean?
How do you know? How do you know? How do you know the rape was like that? How do you know she didn't just have sex and come home and tell you, Mom, I got raped, and she didn't really get raped? She just got pregnant, and she's been having sex for months. How do you know she's not doing that? And you go ahead and murder your grandbaby because your daughter lied to you.
No.
That's what happened.
I have a 27-year-old son who has 10 kids.
Okay, but listen.
Please believe.
But listen.
Please believe that it's not an option.
That's not an excuse for murdering a baby.
It is consensual, and it is something you lay down in a bed and you consent to having sex with someone and they get pregnant. That is a no matter.
How do you know that?
It's a human being in either situation, ma'am. It's a person.
How can you know that? How can you know that it was a rape?
Get pregnant by rape,
If somebody tells you I was
then we'll
raped,
have a conversation.
how do you know?
Well, it's the law of God, man.
As a wife, as a
Do you know how many
woman,
men sit in prison for false
I can tell you now that if my children were ever raped, I would not force them to raise their child. Well, use their own women.
So you're okay with them violating the law of God and murdering your grandbaby? Well, ma'am, you don't want to presume upon His grace by murdering your grandbaby in cold blood.
Rape. Put him to death.
What's that?
Murderer.
If he repented, we don't. That's not in the Bible. If what happened there,
Not little babies, man.
but I mean, God doesn't forgive people who just presume upon His grace and say, "Well, God's going to forgive me," and oh well. No, you have, and you don't want to. When you know something's a sin, you don't want to just commit it.
That's the reality. Of it.
Because murder has never helped anybody. Murder does not help a
That's not true.
That's what happened.
I will
What's
fight
that?
till the end of the earth. And if I have to put it in my own hands to make sure that rapist does not live another day after I find him, then so be it.
So you would murder 2 people, the baby and the rapist. The baby and the rapist.
I sure the fuck would. Did you put your hands on my child and see what happens to you?
But why would he punish the child for the crimes of his father? That's not justice.
Look,
Because if my child could, okay, so what would you? Like I said, would you rather her have the baby and then live in a psych ward, or fuck the state to raise the baby?
You don't know that's going to happen. She might end up in a psych ward because she became a murderer.
No, for her, she can't even handle her 12-year-old brother.
But ma'am,
I guarantee you, she wouldn't be able to handle a child that she had no emotional attachment to.
well,
And like I said, and I'm speaking as this child in this car sitting next to me that I have raised for the last 15 years. I'm not talking about some child down the street who, oh, I want a child, I don't care how it comes into my life, I want a baby. I'm talking about this particular child right here would not be able to emotionally handle having a child that was conceived out of rape.
she's only like 0.0000001%
That's right.
of the national.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. That's why
So
I feel like
we should
abortion
not.
is wrong,
We shouldn't
but
be
that's
legalizing
not
this.
legal.
We shouldn't be having this legal. This shouldn't be legal.
No.
Not in any way,
No.
shape, or form. Not in rape. Not in incest cases. In no case. This should not be legal. I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters that are incest babies because my father was a rapist. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is why this matters to me. You're gonna laugh at my testimony?
No, it's like, actually, that's what's wrong with you. That's why you feel like abortion is not is in no way, shape, or form acceptable.
It's not. My brothers and my sisters are normal people. They have normal jobs. They're Christian people. You listen. You're saying they should have been put to death because of that?
No, like
That's
you
so
said,
ridiculous.
Like you said, the rapist that raped my daughter should have been put to death. The 2 family members that decided it was okay in God's law to lay down together and have a baby.
God's law doesn't say that. God's law
Oh.
doesn't say that.
Where you saying
Oh,
God's law?
really? Sodom and Gomorrah? He destroyed an entire city because there was incest. Try again. Learn your
Incest?
Bible before you
You
decide to
think
preach
it's
to me.
incest that he killed, that he destroyed those cities for?
It
Incest?
says it straight out in the Bible that Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because there was incest.
Name is homosexual sodomy.
That's why it's called Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, homosexual sodomy.
Is homosexual and incest.
And Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed for homosexual sodomy.
And incest. Read your Living Bible. And quit reading the King James.
I don't read the King James, ma'am.
Your Living Bible clearly states that it was incest and homosexuality in the city. That's why he destroyed it.
Reiterate,
Have a great day.
in America,
Yes, ma'am.
there's a lot of fake Christians.